Good day, everyone. It is Delenn Russell on Thursday, and today we are hanging out. Oops, a little too much mic. Up and back. There we go. And today we are hanging out on the Dadcraft 73 server. Weirdest thing of OBS today. I mean, it's been doing it for a while, but today's OBS headache is the fact that sometimes I have to start it over top of itself in Windows 11 more than once. So, in other words, the first version insists on getting stuck as a background process, for those of you that are all nerdy, and doesn't end up being an active app until I launch the second version of it anyways. So it says, we've already got it running. Do you want to run it anyways? Yes. Then I go and end the process on the first one. I don't know, but that's okay. We're here. I have a cold, so we're just going to press on and do a little more of what we did yesterday, and I can't even remember what I said we were doing yesterday. Oh, cow pens. Right. Yeah, so I got two things to do today, two possibilities, depending on how fast the cow pen goes. And knowing me, I'm not even going to promise the second one because it doesn't always happen. So, I'm just going to take a quick look at the map here. I've been trying a bit of a weird experiment. My villagers always collect around the bell, which is fine, but they seem to be attached to their workstations and their beds, so there's no problem there. I guess I keep them fenced in. So I took the bell down, but I made a boo-boo and forgot to cover that block. Next thing you know, I turn around and I have 8, I kid you not, 8 golems running around in this part of the castle. Not on my to-do list. Therefore, I decided that was not appropriate. I put the bell up briefly, and then I decided once again that was not what I wanted, because then I couldn't nail down the villagers as easily when I needed something from them. So I had to go and block it off with a slab, so it looks kind of corny. I really wish you could actually just literally put a slab down on the bottom and stick a torch off that, or even a slab and like hang a, maybe a tripwire hook and then a lantern off that. Yeah, go Java. But anyways, and then had to run around and get rid of the golems, so that was a bit of a pain. Did all that last night. So I was up quite late, which is not good when you're not feeling well. But when you're sitting in a seat and you're all comfy, then feeling well seems to be not on the top of your list. Anyway, long story made short, I made some pretty decent progress on the alternate sheep shed. Not super happy with the interior, so we're going to use some of the materials from the old sheep shed, the big monstrosity sheep shed, and we're going to use some of those instead of this stripped oak, though I will strip the spruce that we've got going holding up the sheep farm itself, and see what we can do to make that look a little bit better. So yeah, I'm going to use these materials instead of the stripped oak, so we're going to stick with this motif, but just swap it up, lighten things up a little bit. But we can see that I've got all of the sheep put in. And let's just throw this one in there. There, that's what I wanted to do. So you can see I've got all the sheep in here. They're in the same rainbow order. So we've got, you can't see it here clearly because they're all shorn. We've got black, and then we went through the same order we went. So a black, dark, light, brown, green, lime, teal, I think, light blue, dark blue, the usual. Purple, magenta, I think this one's pink. It might be red, not sure. And then if this one isn't red, it's pink, And then orange, yellow, and the last 3 are white. There's the only guy you can actually see. And that was kind of fun, trying to figure it out. I don't like the way I've got the minecart running. Right now, it comes up to one end. You can kind of see a comparator in there, which is kind of useless. So the thing comes up, it bounces off one of the blocks, and then it rinses and goes back the other way. I had it going around full circle, and I wasn't sure if I was getting the rates I wanted. So I tried it differently, and you can hear it click when it's trying to use the comparator and stuff, but yeah, no good. Anyway. But what I want to do is I've got the other style, which is a lot like the, the stables I have inside the fence. Sorry, inside the castle. To come off the side here, and I was going to pull the land down to match with this height. But I also thought about coming out this side. And I think I will actually just turn. So initially, I had an L shape. So this piece wasn't supposed to be full, like a full-length thing. It was actually supposed to be open at this end, then have an L shape come off the side. But I think what I'm going to do is turn that L shape, even though it's a smaller unit, and put it in front of this one and have both of those accessed from this spot, I think. That way I can get them both in. We still have room for the road, but I can take down this monstrosity. So yeah, that's where we're at. I've been AFK overnight because of the wheat farm, although I don't... You can see that we've had all kinds of things. And if I hang out too long, we're going to have some pillager buddies showing up. But it could be worse. So yeah, part of the reason I wanted to scale down the sheep shed was I didn't need the space in between the sheep. So I mean, I could have used that for storage or something. But this building was huge. Now, while 2 stories and that sort of feat might have been semi-accurate for a real one, we just don't have the scale or the space in Minecraft to do it. Not at a 1 meter a piece or 1 yard a piece spot. I mean, this is actually much larger than it probably should have been. So anyways, that was part of why I redid it. So this piece is not quite done. And yeah. And then the other part is I have not spawn-proofed the roof, which is a bit of a pain in the bottom. But I think with the yellow, I'm looking at the colors here, and I'm debating between oak buttons or birch buttons to have it less stand out, because one of the two you can't see as easy off the top. But let's see what I've got. Broad oak buttons, that'll probably be a good start. Let's get up on the roof and see how that looks. And good morning, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Sorry I didn't respond to your arrival. My assumption most of the time is that the Fantastic Fox is in meetings. Okay, let's see how this one looks. Let's go that way instead. My assumption is the Fantastic Sherlock Fox is usually in meetings, so it's difficult for me to always be on top of things with him. Now, why it even mattered which direction the button went is, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, that'll have to do. It's better than the birch. Birch is too light, I think. It looked too white. Anyway, but if you look straight down, you can see that the lines kind of match the darker bit of the hay. So, you know, I can pretend that it's a little bit more invisible than it really is. In all honesty, you know how people have like invisible item frames? I would love to be able to have a common thing be like invisible buttons or something like that for spawn proofing purposes. I think that would just rock, but it's not a thing. But part of the reason I'm always spawn proofing the roof, as tacky as this may look, and I seriously do wish string would actually work better, but is just that I don't like the idea of spiders or creepers or whatever else ever, you know, dropping down on our heads. You've heard that one before. It's nothing new with me. Okay. 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Do I have... Nope, no spruce. Not spruce, please. Do I have any oak logs here? No, but I have oak planks. That will do nicely. So I can get myself some more buttons. Yeah, let's go 2 sets. Did I not make buttons? What the heck? There we go. All right. I didn't actually spawn-proof the taller building, as you can see, and had the problem of things coming down on me. So that's part of why I'm getting a little fussy about this one. My excuse is cheesy, but I'm pretending it's like those weird little spikes you get on top of office towers, where you put a spike on the top and the birds don't come and land and make a big mess. Nor do you end up with raptors like falcons and owls living on top of your office roof and scaring off everything else. Or dive bombing people. That's the other one. These days, in our neighborhood, we have kingfisher birds. They're not supposed to be hanging out, but some of them do, and they love to dive bomb the kids and the parents on their way to and from school. So, don't don't want those guys hanging around. They're not a good cup of tea by any stretch of the imagination. All right. Actually, let's do the other side first, just because it's not... Oh, well, that works too. Sleeping is always a good thing. So yeah, I probably look better than I feel, which is saying something. But yeah, I woke up this morning with a bit of a sore throat again, so the bug definitely has a hold on me. So we'll see. Streaming is actually, when it goes well, it's actually quite a good chill out for me, because then I can be opinionated or not, whatever the case is. And so I figure I would try and push this one through. There's a bunch of other things I don't want to do. Or film actors who've made TV commercials. Ah! Well, film actors specifically. I can give you... Oh, geez. Now I'm going to... Patrick Stewart and... What's his name? Ian... To bug me. Gandalf and Magneto, whatever his name is. So, of course, that doesn't help, because that way I've only named Patrick Stewart. There's also been William Shatner's made commercials, sadly. There's actually quite a bunch that I was thinking of the other day about different people. I'm like, I can't believe that actor has now started shilling for whatever it is. And usually the funniest one we get... usually the funniest thing we get about people having shilled for something is you'll find that it's like Uber is the biggest one. Like Uber Eats is a good one. We've actually had Mark Hamill. That was kind of funny. His commercials were sort of cheesy. Okay. Come on. Directional is fine, except when you've got it placed up against something else. Like that. Okay. Let's see, can I get... What will stick? What if anything will stick? That one, maybe? Like that. There we go. Okay. Clooney and Shatner. Yep. So we've got Clooney and Shatner, Patrick Stewart, and Patrick's buddy Ian something or other. And I cannot for the life of me remember what his name is. Anyway. Nope, not that. Go this way. I've got a few more buttons I'm going to need, so it's this way and that one. Good morning, Creef. Or, sorry, good evening, good afternoon, hello. Good day. There you go. Hello, Creef. How are you doing today? And I should say, how's your computer doing today? Because I gather it was not a happy camper of late. McKellen, yes, thank you. Thank you very, very much. That's the one, Ian McKellen. It's funny, I should know that one, because usually I talk about him actually relatively a lot, strangely. There, we've got 4 actors. But if we can think of any more, let's see if we can beat that. I'm sure there's a few over the years that have like done commercials for Timex or something. You know, one of those. When I'm not in the middle of something else and I need to know how much time until my next shot, I look down at my Timex watch. But it just, and something along the lines of you know, it just takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Meme, I guess. It's become a meme now anyways. Hello, Neon Traveler. Hehe. So Al Poppin said to me yesterday, there's no way Hobo Zim is going to be allowed to be first here. But now Neon's first here. Hello, Neon. How are you today? And what state are you in at the moment? I can never remember. I know you said you were in one spot for 2 weeks, then you were moving, but my perception of time and date is really messed up lately, so I have no clue who is where. Oh, yeah, that would do it. I mean, you'll get some juice, but not enough juice possibly to charge and run at the same time. I'm surprised the machine actually wants to run on that, because some of them just will say, nope, mismatch, no go, and just refuse to run. The weirdest part, though, is it sounds like your computer's just, like, got issues with its, charging system internally in such a way that regardless of which power supply you're using, it's just not holding a charge. Ah, I see. I see. Yeah, and that makes sense. But yeah, it surprised me that the laptop runs out of charge still like that quickly. That's a surprise for me. The other thing, of course, is it won't charge as quickly as you would like it to. So you may get a longer play session if you've had it overnight, but that's it, right? If you're using it for anything else besides work, it's gonna get sucked up pretty quickly. Okay, I have extra buttons now, but I won't for long, so that's good. Yeah. Neon, I swear you must have that that happy day and the notes stuck in your most used emoticons, because I see that a lot and I like it. It's pretty cool. Helps cheer everybody up. Hey, B! You're lurking, but hey, you caught me at a good time, right? You caught me faster this time. Okay, let's see if I can do this without falling in the hole. I've yet to figure out how to actually walk a... It's like my character's drunk. I have trouble walking a straight line on this roof, or any other roof, such that I don't actually have to crouch while I'm going up and down things. That's why, eventually one of these days I'll find a way of paying for Sneaky Pants. The Swift Sneak. But I have not been to the ends, or the Deep Dark, and I do not intend to. Oops. I'm taking this down just so I can have easier okay, fine. I was gonna say I'm taking this down so I can have easier access to the diorite in the walls without making it easier for mobs to spawn inside. Although I suppose with the lanterns it really doesn't matter. And of course I made it easy to get outside. Just occurred to me I may need to do something about storage, because I suspect this is getting full. Oh, no, not too bad yet. Okay. Good to see you, B Silverbee, and if you need to lurk for any reason, or work or whatever, you're more than welcome to. I'm trying a new playlist this morning for Spotify. The sounds are ridiculously quiet to me, but they look, according to OBS, to be a little bit on the potentially high side, so please do let me know if it's too loud. I'm hearing the game sounds okay too, but that could also be too loud. So, and my mic is peaking. Weird. I'll bring that down a bit. Okay, let's try that. Okay, that should be better. We'll see. I don't like being one of those loud streamers, you know, the ones where you go in and you have to turn everything down. And then you go to another streamer and then you have to crank everything back up again because they're too quiet. Ah! Seriously? Go. I can't believe how long into the build with this thatch that it actually took me. to realize that the hoe was a faster way to take down the bales. Let's just say I was 1 row down from completing when I finally figured that out, so I felt silly. I was debating haste for the purposes of taking down the bales faster with the wrong tool. And now that I know, you know, it's one of those I was today years old elements. Here. Don't hear the music. Okay, let's try bringing Spotify up a little bit and we'll see what happens. I'm experimenting today with a new list. This is from Immuno, so IMUNO, Stream Safe Music. And they've got a playlist right here. I believe I'm on Hyper Casual by Heston Mims and Immuno. But they call it the Cozy Streamer Kit. And they've been verified on another site that was collecting free and pay music services for streamers to use. And this one came out free. They have several playlists, but I just figured the streamer kit one looked cool. Because, I'll be honest, when I'm not feeling that great, my personal music for playing would be something pretty chill and relaxed. You know, like those lo-fi beats or whatever, but I find that for streaming, it tends to put people to sleep, and this isn't great. It's cozy, you know, like it's one of those ones that I'd probably have to keep up some sort of chatter over top of, but it's otherwise... Oh, no bed. But it's otherwise a little bit less bouncy than the happy stuff or the dance music and some of the synth stuff. Nothing against those services or those styles of music, but it just wasn't really in my wheelhouse this morning. Ah, yes. Yeah, it doesn't like the garden implement. Thank you for adding that one. The kind of people that tend to hang in my stream don't tend to misuse the term, so I appreciate that it's been added. It's one of those ones that I never think about adding until it becomes an issue. Now that it's been added, I need to go back and figure out what it was. One of the things I don't have control of in game, and I wish I did, was how long it takes for messages in the in-game chat to disappear. So when I'm using a Twitch connector so that you guys can see chat that way, mixed in with the in-game chat, it disappears faster than I can read it sometimes. So I'm back to my trusty friend, the Twitch chat overlay. There we go. Even the streamer now uses garden implement. Yeah, at one point, I was in a stream where somebody used just simply the word tool, referring to the hoe in game, and it got auto-modded. And I was trying to figure out what level of auto-modding would get that away, but apparently it was under the category of bullying, just the usage of the word, because supposedly, by calling somebody a tool, you're insulting enough to be bullying. Which I could potentially see if you're in a, like, you know, all family-friendly, all ages, to the point where you're trying to be safe for 4-year-olds. Like, I just don't get it. Oops. Oh, come on. Can I not make a jump like that? Wow. Dylan has no hops. Uh-oh. If Creef is watching Twitch and playing. If I was cruel, I'd put up a poll of how long people think Creef's going to be able to survive in game and chat at the same time before his computer dies. Yes. I totally understand, B Silver B. I mean, now is that auto-modded by the game? Or not by the game, sorry, by Twitch? Or is it or is it auto-modded because of the settings of the viewer? Because I find it amusing. Poor CK Grapes, you couldn't understand, has some trouble. So often just people refer to them as CK, because if you try to type the whole name, unless you're atting CK, you're only gonna get automod problems. It'll either blank out the name, or it'll actually say you can't have it at all. And it says you, like when I first turned on my automod settings too high, it was actually saying that if you were talking even about something awesome that CK was doing, like say Cookie Week or something, you could actually get your message auto-modded for using her name. And I understand why, but it's like, okay, I get that that Twitch wants to be super, super safe, but if it's part of another word, it's pretty likely that it's not going to be inappropriate. Like, come on, Twitch, use your brain. Well, I guess Twitch doesn't have a brain itself, but you know what I'm getting at. Can you imagine how scary it would be if you actually had Twitch modded by some of the modern AIs? You could either get away with a whole bunch of things you shouldn't, or you could actually have all kinds of things that are perfectly innocent be modded for the weirdest of reasons. You know? If anybody taught AI how to use the X is done because reasons, then we'd all be in trouble. I'd be quite curious about that at some point, V Silver. Do message me, because I'm actually quite curious now. Like, I don't want you to get in trouble for it, so let's not, but it's just kind of funny. Actually, that reminds me of a story I've told before, but very, very briefly. I don't know, I was half asleep or something, but I was picking up at McDonald's for our order, like we'd ordered online, or ordered through an app, and then went to pick it up at the drive-thru, and they've got a letter number combination for the code. So the person asked for the code, and I didn't think about it too much. I just, as part of scouting and my father-in-law being in the forces and stuff, it's pretty normal at our house to use the phonetic alphabet that's used by radio people and pilots and military and all that. It's like, it's not a big deal. So I just rattled off the letters, whatever. And the person on the radio totally understood me at the drive-thru, but they're like, "Are you a pilot?" I'm like, no. Nope, I'm a scout leader. What? It's like, trust me, it's just something nerdy we do. Oh, okay. Which is kind of funny because I mentioned that on stream, and someone from the US at one point said, you know, we don't do that in our scout group, but we like to teach them Morse code. And I'm thinking these days, you know, in all honesty, Morse code is kind of, I can see how it could be useful, but for the most part, it's probably one of those things that's like not really useful in a day-to-day sense anymore, because there's so much alternative ways to do communication. But if somebody was to be covering the phonetic alphabet with the kids, I think that actually might be a little more useful for things, you know, like drive-thrus, or giving your address or information when people can't spell your name, which I'm very, very used to. People can't spell our name half the time, nor do they pronounce it correctly. But you know, or I'd love to know more about like phonetic codes on a regular basis, such that you could actually A, understand the stupid phonetic codes in the dictionary, but B, be able to use them when somebody else mispronounces your name. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Creef. You know? Oh shoot, I'm trying to remember. So I mean, like, we'd have Kilo Romeo Echo Foxtrot 78. that sort of thing. Now, doing it all Fantastic Sherlock Fox would be a bit of a mouthful, but it's doable. Thing is, most people can pronounce that. But somebody had said FSF on stream, and one of the viewers went, "What?" It was just kind of amusing. So my brain immediately sort of went, you know, Foxtrot, Sierra, Foxtrot. I'm like, what? Oh, right. Maybe you don't do that. Exactly. Like, that's something I think would be useful. Whereas, unless you want to be like an ultra nerd ham radio operator, I don't find Morse code to be useful that much, because I mean, first off, the generic of like SOS, which is probably the only useful one out of Morse code these days, is built into so many devices that you actually have to ask kids not to use their flashlight in that mode, because A, it can be misinterpreted as actually needing trouble, and B, I'm sorry that it's in devices, because there's far too many people for whom it can be triggering in like the epileptic style way, or migraines or whatever. And so I kind of wish that wasn't a thing anymore. I mean, yes, it's useful when you're getting distance help or whatever, but then really people don't even need to know what it stands for. They just go, oh, something's flashing and that's not normal in the forest because it's not a lightning storm. Therefore, we should head over that way. You know, like it's pretty simple. Doesn't always seem simple, but it is. Okay, so now that I've got that open enough, I can tear down this wall. I'm going to steal the diorite from the top, and this is lit up, so I think we're good. Oh, haha. I feel like an idiot now. I completely forgot about these. These are boxes of shears. So I took them out of the dispensers for the sheep, and as I was dealing with the sheep dispensers yesterday, that's when the server crashed and I got kicked. So I lost 3 dispensers, and for some reason my brain didn't even think about the fact that I had 3 boxes of shears just kicking around now. And so I actually went and made more. So now I have extra shears. Plenty of extra shears. But that's okay. They'll get used eventually. Alright. Let's get in here and take it down. Now, I'm not going to spend all the time taking things down, but I just really do want the diorite. And that's the easiest way to get the diorite. The other part of it is I've taken down enough of the spruce forest nearby that I'm probably going to need the unstripped spruce for other things. Unfortunately, I'm going to have excess stripped spruce because probably easier... yeah, because I can't access the floors all that easily inside the farm. Or, sorry, I can't access the pillars now that I've got so close to the wall. So, unfortunately, it just means that we're going to have to strip it manually rather than actually take it down, because I'm not sure I can reach it to replace it. We'll try and see. But, yeah. Okay, can we... It's funny, now that I actually can think, oh yeah, I could fly, then I either forget to, or crash and burn a little bit. Oh. Grr. She jumped? No, she falled. Alright. And I'm getting echoes. Did I not change the sound? I did not. Options, sounds. Done. Done. Back to game. Now that OBS is actually... I shouldn't say it's cooperating, but now that it actually has half-decent built-in audio capture from various programs, I don't need as many of those virtual cables, so I might just go ahead and disable some of them so that I can get through to that wanted level of sound a little faster. All right. We've had more than 5 minutes, so let's do a new geek out. 6 sitcom family last names. Sitcoms were kind of an 80s thing, but I'm sure that we can probably come up with a few. 80s and 90s, I suppose. But it doesn't even have to be just 80s and 90s. I mean, there's a bunch of them. For example, I can think of 3 off the top of my head. So I'm sure we can do better than 6. Actually, I'm not sure, but I bet we probably could do better than 6. For example, we've got the, there's the Cleavers from Leave It to Beaver. Yep, there's the Bradys, that's who I was thinking of. There's the Huxtables, if you're into the Cosby Show. So there's the 3 I was thinking of. For sure there's probably more. Let's see. Then those are just the old ones, right? Like, if anybody can remember, there's probably the... Oh, Archie and Edith Bunker. Good one. Good one. Cosby actually never used the last name in that one. Like, good morning, Zerk. Or afternoon, I guess. Depends on where you are. And, yeah. So, Taylor. Which one was Taylor? Fantastic Jock Fox. I'm curious. The other thing is I never count when we're doing these things. So, when it's more than, like when it's 6, it's more than I'm usually thinking of. Griffith. So, okay, when we say last names, could we please add what show they were from? So I'm just kind of curious on some of these ones. I don't recognize it. Tim Tillman. Oh, Taylor's. Yes, got it. Sorry, my brain was thinking same show, but got stuck on Jonathan Taylor Thomas, which is the kid, not the characters. Simpsons, I guess you could say it's a sitcom. Yeah, probably. It was a cartoon sitcom, so that works. And what was the other one we were looking at? Oh, Griffith. Yep, no, Family Guy, now that I think about it. No, it's Griffin, isn't it, on that one? On Family Guy, I think it's Griffin. Cunningham's from Happy Days, yes. And you know, now I'm not going to sing on stream. That's not just because I'm not feeling well, but now you've got the Happy Days tune going through my head. I guess Andy Griffith from the Andy Griffith Show. Yes, they kept that character's name, even though they had a completely different story that's got nothing to do with the actor. And then there's the nope, that's not a last name. Never mind. The Clampetts from the Beverly Hillbillies. That's the another one I was thinking of. I mean, technically you could say the Flintstones. And the Rubbles. True. No, I totally get you, B. Silverby. I don't either for most modern sitcoms. Generally, once I moved out of home, we weren't sitcom people for the most part. On the overall, actually, I don't think I've watched a whole lot of TV since I moved out. Like, I mean, there's some stuff we watched because it's the water cooler conversation that you sort of needed to be able to keep up with people at the office. But I switched offices enough times that by the time I got to the last job I had before having kids, it was all nerd stuff that you could probably find online. Or YouTube was good enough and people generally didn't watch it the day it came out. There were exceptions, but for the most part. The Howells, yes, for sure. It's Howell. The rich, snotty Howells. Gordon something or other Howell the Third or whatever it was. Okay, back wall. Do I have... Actually, I've got enough to start, so let's start putting that stuff in. See, so we definitely exceeded 6. So if one was to be playing the offline version of Geek Out, then you'd be able to make a bet of how many you personally could do, and so the winner would be the one who actually said, okay, I can name a certain number, and everybody's like, uh-huh, prove it. So they have to actually try to do so. Yeah, for counting animated, Jetsons work as well. That's one thing I find interesting about the 80s and some of the 90s, pardon me, is that we actually had a bunch of the shows that they did sitcoms as animation. I think part of it is because they could get away with saying things that were starting to be not really kosher to be said in public, and they were able to do that by making the show animated. I mean, that's part of the excuse behind The Simpsons anyways, was that you could actually get away with making commentary that you couldn't otherwise. But the problem with The Simpsons was that it came at a time where doing animated wasn't popular. Therefore, the assumption was that it was for kids, which eventually became for kids, but it wasn't initially designed to be that way. If we're including last names from animated shows, yeah, Dynamite works. Let's see what else have we got. I'm trying to remember the one. I can't remember at the moment, but I'm trying to remember the one from Green Acres. And then there was oh phooey. Yeah, there's a few that are like right on the tip of my tongue, and as soon as I hear it, I'll know exactly what it's from, but I can't. Not exactly what it's from, but I'll be like, yeah, that's the one. But there was from not Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Well, anyways, it doesn't really matter. Drysdales. That was... Is that the banker from the Hillbillies? Mr. Drysdale? Everybody was all about Mr. Drysdale at the bank. Boy did the main characters ever mess with him. I love that. Okay, so let's see how this is looking. Get my body out of the way. Yeah, I like that better. The lower height with the white. So I just need to redo the back wall and then start working on the sides. Mr. Drysdale? Oh. Okay. Yesterday when we had a bit of trouble in the evening with a bit of rubber banding, not a ton. We had a bit, and I was doing something like this, so chopping down a couple extra trees, and I went underneath, and then it rubber banded right on me, and I started suffocating in a tree. That was not a whole heap of fun. It took me a second to figure out what on earth had happened. Barbarino. Oh yeah, okay. I've heard that one. I just had never actually watched that particular show myself, but I totally recognize the name once, like as something somebody had said. I don't know if he actually went by Smith in that one. I can't recall, to be honest with you. Because I don't think he was using his actual name. I think they were still making fun of his music name, The Fresh Prince. I mean, there's Urkel. We could always use that one. I think that was Family Matters. I'm not sure. Oops, I guess I better get out of here before I end up with too much trouble. Aha, perfect. Excellent. The biggest issue I've run into lately for not sleeping, aside from phantoms, when I start and I forget that I hadn't slept through the night. Oh, did I finish that wall? I guess I did. Okay. The biggest issue I've been running into is that I end up with creepers, and I'm not sure why creepers, but they're showing up in passels of 3 and 4. I'm used to getting zombie mobs, that's fine, but I don't know whoever decided that multiple creepers was a good idea, but that's certainly a thing. Haha! Banks. Okay, Fantastic Shot Fox. You can tell me where that one's from. Because when you say Banks, first thing I think of is Disney. So that's definitely not a television sitcom. This one is meant to have windows, even though we have something in the way, so it's going to make sure only spiders can show up there. Make it small enough. What am I doing? Well, I guess I'm not stripping the spruce logs, because I completely forgot about it. That's okay. It'll do. Either that, or you're complaining about banks, which is a possibility. Oh, oops. Okay, Dylan made a boo-boo because all of these are supposed to be inset, I think. Hmm. Oh, I get you. Okay. That's that weird one with the genie in the bottle, right? Is there room? There is room. Okay. Let's see what it looks like if I offset this one. One, 2, 3. Yeah, it's not that bad. But I can't offset those because they'll be in the way, I think. Oh, I might have gotten lucky on this one, actually. Yep, I've got glass in here so I can offset this. How does that look? Weirdly, I think I like it. Even though it's going to make the inside look strange, I think I like it. Alright. Why is it always that block? And the Nelsons for my dream of Genie. Okay. We've got 6 for sure. And then some. We did a good job. Yeah. We as a team did a great job. What do we got now? Alright, let's see. Next up. Music. 2 songs about weddings. Well, I mean, Chapel of Love is a pretty obvious one. I'll just get that one off the table right away. And let's see, do I have fences? I do have fences. White wedding. It's a white wedding. Yep, for sure. Cool, okay, that's working. Actually, I'm surprised I knew that one. Normally I don't know these ones. People are coming and going today and no glitchiness. I have no idea why our server just doesn't like us today. Or any day, really. Only strangeness personally I've had with the server having crashes and such. Thankfully, it hasn't happened on stream. Knock on wood. But... Pardon me. Wow. But, the only weirdness I've had was the loss of a couple of pieces of... Sorry, a few dispensers. That wasn't an issue. Like, it's not that bad. Okay. So let's take a quick boo around the outside of this one. Yeah, I think I like that offset edge. I think it looks nice. Through the mountain. Take a look at the back. It's gonna need something back there, but I'll sort that out afterwards. Maybe it might just be another vertical pole up the center. Yeah, actually, that's probably what I'm gonna do. Let's take that out. I run the vertical pole up the back, and then we're gonna get on to the actual cow pen. Woo! I don't know how many days it's been that I said we're gonna do a cow pen, and I just keep not doing the cow pen. What's wrong with me today? Alright, what's this? There we go. Actually, really, it's one of those ones where A became a prerequisite for B. And so that was really where we're at. Okay. So I'm going to look at the original design plans for the picture. Let's see, what do I have? 1 pen, 2 pen, supposed to be 4 pens long, 3 gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, 3 by 5. Repeat. Gotcha. Yep, Taxel. That's actually the first one I came up with, but Chapel of Love by the Dixie Cups is one of those weird ones that, strangely enough, I grew up with. My parents aren't really that old, but here's the thing. They have an 8.5-year gap between them, which sounds kind of large, particularly, well, obviously particularly by today's standards, but today you never know. But it's one of those things where the resulting effect was my mom really was not into 60s tunes, or even some of the 50s tunes. My dad was sort of into 50s tunes only because that's what he heard around his house growing up. Not that he liked them, or, pardon me, not that he had a great time growing up, but he just was not into the tunes for it. Or, well, some of it. Anyways, point where I was going to go with this, and if I can replace... Yeah, I'm going to need this torch, because otherwise I'm going to have problems. But the resulting effect was my father was in Britain. So while people were having Woodstock and whatever over here, you know, 68, 69 or whatever, my dad was in England at the time. Which is part of why he supported my son's work abroad, my brother's work abroad program that he was a part of, was because he had been in England during the late 60s. So his thing was being there during the, before the Beatles were super duper huge over on this side of the pond. So I actually quite like a lot of British invasion stuff because that's what was big over there at the time. Fantastic Shockbox and I've had conversations, and I know I've mentioned on stream before, about how when one isn't on the same side of the ocean, the trends, for the most part, I mean, it's changing now because of world intercommunication, but quote unquote back in the day, it took a lot longer for trends, say fashion and music, for example, to catch on in other parts of the world. So during the 90s, when we were doing a lot of, like, I guess grunge would be sort of the thing that was around. Okay, sorry, doing a lot of the grunge type stuff on this side of the ocean. That sort of thing hadn't caught on overseas. The 3 wide pens? Yeah, okay. So if I do, how much do I want a gap in between these? So we've got an overhang, one, and then another one. That'll be overhang here, 3 wide pen. Might as well line it up with the other one here. Let's do something funky in between. No, actually I'm not going to do the funky thing. The mood. There we go. Take that. 1, 2, 3, and this one. 1, 2, 3, and that one. 1, 2, 3, and then one more. 1, 2, 3, post. Okay. Gives me an idea of how I need to dig out. So how much do I need behind this? There's the overhang. So 2 off the end of that. So the resulting effect is we had an interesting twist in music. And I grew up listening to like the original versions of things sometimes that are getting covered now. Dixie Cups is a good example of that, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one. There we go. Or yeah, like some people would say Patsy Cline, which is great, and she did a lot of stuff that was crossover for the day, but not popular now. And a lot of people now would think of her as a country singer, whereas weirdly enough, back in the day she wasn't a country singer. She actually wouldn't have said pop per se, but definitely far more popular than she is now. I'm just trying to dump off some of the extras. I don't need that. Don't need the glass. This one. Oh, actually, I do want those. Don't need the flowers for sure. That'll save me some space. Let's put hay bales for organization purposes. 59 ladders. It's not going to be, or sorry, fences. It's not going to be enough. Okay, let's group those. I think we're good. Okay. I need walls. Where did I put the walls? It's 15, that'll do. So yeah. So I became an oldies person because that's what I listened to a lot of growing up in the house. We did some kids' tunes, but frankly put, my father couldn't stand kids' music. And it wasn't that we didn't like it, it was just some of them, I mean, I don't mean kids' music as in like nursery rhyme junk, but there wasn't, as far as I know, in the 80s, there wasn't as much of like kids' music in the way that there is now. What I mean by that is like, you get artists doing, you know, silly stuff like how much is that doggy in the window? Sorry, not my thing. But now we've got, well, people doing modern stuff for the kids. So for example, 99 Red Balloons, which is dark as a theme, doesn't work for kids all that well per se, but for television purposes, there was a more child-friendly version of the song done for Sesame Street, weirdly enough. And literally in that one, they made it about red balloons. You know, that's a Disney or a Sesame Street kind of thing to do. So they were singing on and on about red balloons, but there's no sort of double level reference to it. I mean, in the same way that if you listen now, we have one of the Chumbawamba songs where they're singing about the girls, you know, where it starts like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think, I'm trying to remember which, it's basically the Mambo number 5, but it's been converted to be for kids. So in Disney fashion, they've got all kinds of Disney characters listed. I think this one actually, yeah. So I have the sheep pen enterable on the end, and have the cow pen enterable on the side. And that'll work because if I bring a road around that's going to go down the hill to the bridge, then I think we're good. Well, the plank, I guess. Okay, so we can have gates through here to get cattle through. Let's go with some fencings on the end. And my bot is a noisy one today. Okay. Horizontal. Yep, horizontal, and then 3 fences. Now this was originally designed to be done in 4 separate stalls because it's very much like the one on the inside. But I'm just going to do it all as one. And I think I like it with the stripped oak in there because it gives it that sort of dark light contrast without going quite as light as the diorite on the other side. So although the two don't match, I think it would still work. Yes! Yes, Neon. Now the question is, though, which version are you going to be listening to? Right? Okay. I need these back. I'm going to lean this log over for support purposes. Realism is a pain in the butt in Minecraft. There we go. Oh, ha 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 ha. Dummy. Here we go again. Weird, I thought I didn't pick that up. I didn't hear the noise. Oh well. The one from the 80s in America. Yeah. So that's definitely an option. Yeah, because the earlier version of 99 Red Balloons, I think had something to do with a gas attack. I'm not fully sure. But it was something along those levels of dark. The other thing about the earlier version of it is it was also in German, which is interesting only insofar as that I don't speak German very well, but I really wish that I did. I even tried taking a class in it, and yeah, can't remember basically squat. I mean, I can count to like... Well, actually, here's another problem. I can't count to 12 in German. I thought I could, like we tried, you know, covering clocks and things like that, but I can't because I keep mixing it up with a student exchange I had in the mid-90s where I was in Sweden. So I don't know at what point I switch over, but somewhere after about 5, the number 5, I get into Swedish, which doesn't help anybody. Okay, now do I want to do this at the same level, or... trying to decide how I want to do this. What's the suggestion on the thing I'm riffing off of? Roof. No. Stop. YouTube, stop. Looking for suggestions on how they do the crossbeam for the roof. Okay, they're just going with logs. Yes, that's supposed to attach. I get it. What's the other end look like? Planks. Okay. I see what they're doing. Okay. So the other one just launches into a lot of planks. So what I'm actually going to do to reference that is use... Not planks, sorry, slabs. Is use some slabs. And then we'll use some fencing as well. Just leave a big gap. And I need to take this one off because I need to... pardon me. Be able to put the hay bale down. Which is not going to work if I have the slab in the way. I mean, if you want complex, for songs. Silly, but complex. I mean, my kids, for example, love Don McLean's American Pie. But it's funny because I had somebody once who didn't understand at all what the song was about, completely ignore the whole day the music died element of it, and they said I should not be showing that to my kids, how disgusting, and on, because they were thinking American Pie as in like the movie American Pie. Very, very, very different connotation. One is not family friendly, and the other one is referencing a whole bunch of movie and music stars. So how that would not be appropriate for the kids, I don't get. But it is what it is, right? Some people just don't understand. Now, while I like doing this in Hey at the moment, like it's okay, I probably would actually consider spending the time, so we'll see whether or not we're going to. Once 120 comes into force, and we actually get a lot more of the bamboo abilities, because I think that thatch might look a little better, and we can at least make like trapdoors and slabs out of it, whereas that's not something we can do now. Yeah. And I guess I should sleep. Fresh Prince. Huh? Am I? Oh yeah. I just don't understand. For sure. Well, it's funny because even Fresh Prince, Will Smith says there's certain songs he did back in the day that were fine, like perfectly fine, but that the content now would be something that people would say, "Are you so sure?" Because we've got a combination going on of people being overly protective in some ways, and other ways people being overly permissive. So it's one of those ones where, as a parent, you just can't win. Right? Somebody's going to get their nose out of joint over something. And usually it's me, strangely enough. Or that's not even strange, I suppose, when you talk to Fantastic Sherlock Fox. But we got lucky because by having bright kids, we can usually let them get away with a little bit more because we can explain it to them. Whereas not all kids can have explanations. They just don't always get it. This one. That. For this level. Okay, I don't know about you, but I have to skip this song. It feels like I'm in Stardew Valley. Wow. Okay, that's not working. I like the music. I'm actually quite interested in the streamer, but not this particular playlist. Sorry, guys. It's chill to the point of, like, I'm going to go to sleep. What have we got? Chiptune? No, that's usually Plinky Planky. Not really into anime music. Let's try this one. This is Immuno and the Streamers. Basically, it's just a playlist named after the type of people he expects to use the playlist, but it's a mix and match of Immuno's music, so we'll see what that's like. It's got a bit more thump to it, and not quite so sleepy. Oh, actually, do it this way. I keep worrying about falling off, right? Well, maybe I should actually, stick to another block. Nope, that's why I don't do it that way. Now I know why I don't do it that way. use up this one just so it's out of the way. That. So here, and let's go across. Okay, well, maybe the need to go back and remove some of them is not worth that extra speed. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I guess it is. I guess it worked. Okay. Let's get the other side. Where is this one? Oh, really? That's just dumb. Okay. Let's see what we've got going down here. Wow, it's all like Plinky Plonky chiptunes. It's an improvement. If you guys don't like it, just let me know and I'll kick it out again. This one, and that one, and this one. Really? Come on. How'd I do that? Did... that? There we go. Yeah, this would be so much nicer if I could do it with slabs or even trapdoors that looked half decent like it. So I might have to come back in with the bamboo look. Even though bamboo isn't necessarily the look we're really wanting here, we might have to go with it. Geek out! Time to geek out for another one. What's our new geek out? Our new geek out is 6 shows on which an alien appears. 6 of them. Oh wow. I mean, you could say Star Trek, but you can only say it once. Right? Alf, for sure. American Dad, probably. Eat. Well, not sure if that's actually a show, though. I guess. Well, maybe. If it's shows in general, then I'll take the Jetsons. The Jetsons. But it didn't say the alien had to be a main character, it just said to have an alien in it. And Battlestar Galactica and Babylon 5, of course. Of course. This one, that one, there. All right, we are almost to the top row. Almost the top row. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get this down from the inside. What do we got? Why did I just do that? Weird. Mork and Mindy, yes. Mork for Mork. Nanu Nanu. What else have we got? We've got, what am I thinking of? And I can't even remember today. Wow. Jonathan Winters was an amazing comedian, and if you guys haven't had the chance to look up his work, I seriously suggest you do. Amazing guy. One of the classic old comedians. So, yeah. There's your warning, I guess, suppose. Ah, I just put that block there. Come here. Okay, let's go this way. Oops. This one's wrong. And then these ones. I mean, I suppose one could say that you could use some of the classic comedy shows as well. You know, Carol Burnett and Sid Caesar's Your Show shows and so on, because they had people pretending to be like from Mars and so on. But I think that's a little bit excessive in our reference. Okay, more aliens. I mean, if you're saying shows in general and are willing to count movies, you could probably push it to pretend, just like Michael J. Fox had to, that he was pretending he was an alien from outer space, calling himself Darth Vader to the character George to be his dad character. But that's a little strange too. I mean, it's a reach, you know, at best. We've got Looney Tunes, clearly, because we had Who Can Forget Marvin the Martian? Okay, now we need to get this one all buttoned up, just like the last. I'm trying to remember, it was this way? Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with straight planks. Or, sorry, all the way up, I mean, as opposed to... Actually, I don't know which one I like better. Okay, chat. Question for you. I know I've got the dirt in the front, which isn't right, but which do you guys like better, the flat top or the pointed top? So the 3 rows flat, or do you like the 3 rows like with the pointed in the center? Welcome back, Neon. That is weird. I'm not really sure what I've got in my coffee cup this morning. And it's probably my fault. Because it might be coffee, it might not be coffee. It's probably a bizarre blend. Yesterday I was using a throat rescue tea, and I rinsed out my cup, but then I made the tea super strong because I was going to just be adding water over and over and over. So, I made it quite strong and I couldn't taste the coffee because of that, which makes sense. You know, like I'd rinsed out the cup and gave it a little soap and water scrub and whatever. But then this morning, I don't know if I've got throat coat tea again, with a hint of coffee from the coffee stain residue I haven't been able to get rid of, or whether it's coffee that is mysteriously tasting like throat coat tea. I'm not particularly sure. I'm not sure. Did we get 6? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. With actors that I'm not used to being comedian. Okay, so this is kind of corny, but I don't know if I get to use this feature, so I'm going to anyways. Add title, roof, style, add. Add, All right, so I've thrown a quick poll up there just to see which style you guys like better. The one that my character's standing on, the more pointed style, or the flatter one on the left. So I've just left that up there for 2 minutes. I'm having a real problem deciding between the two, so it doesn't matter because we'll switch it up for the housing and stuff along the way. It's a two-way tie at the moment of 0. Excellent. If you like one or the other, feel free to put your vote in. It's only a 2-minute poll, so it's not a big deal. All right. And then once we get that one through, I will flip it over and turn it into an egg prediction. Pursuant to conversations on the Discord, on the DC's Discord for the Java server, we have eggs out the wazoo. Before I went to bed last night, the last message I wrote in Discord, we had 13 and a third double chests of eggs. Plus the crate in my inventory, like the inner chest and stuff. So we have eggs like no tomorrow. I think I overdid it with the chickens. So one of our projects, if we get time to, I may start it next week on stream. Or I may build it here and then we'll see what we're going to do with it. But I need to make a shack and actually go ahead with the little shop idea. Oh. Yeah, I think the poles usually hide. If you can't find them, I think they usually hide in with the points thing at the bottom. If they're not pinned on top. Let's just... Yeah, I can't actually pin this one. I honestly had never noticed that, Silver Bee. It's an interesting feature. I've seen it in modded, but I'd never seen it in regular. And honestly, for trading with farmers, that's part of why I made the melon farm. But myself, I have 0 interest. Flatter top wins. Okay. 3-2 though, so we will have some of the pointed ones, but I may save those for little houses. And then keep use the flatter ones on the the farm styles here, just to keep the keep the heights from getting ridiculous. So, okay, so we've got, refresh that. Yeah, so it looks like the roof style is flatter top for 3 votes. Okay, perfect. Interesting, I wonder how the archive works. Okay, so then we're going to switch that over. Refresh this, and let's see. Okay. So we get a chicken. I'm going to try and run this version. I don't know how long this one's going to run. The one disadvantage to the... Oh, that's reasonable. Okay. The one disadvantage to the bot I'm using is it doesn't, when I'm looking at the polls list, it doesn't actually show me how long the duration was for a previous running of the poll. So, yeah, would be nice. Let's close that one. There we go. But I have a lot of eggs. So in our Java server, we're looking at having a bit of a problem with too many, I can't even remember what the word was. Here we go. Problems, I guess. Like, that's what I'm looking at. So one of the possibilities we're looking at is trying to get rid of entities in the spawn area. Oops. And one of the potential culprits, not confirmed yet, is the egg farm out there. It was chickens for eggs, so people could make things, pumpkin pies and so on. I mean, I guess it's a possibility I could do pumpkin pie stand as well. But I just have a ton of eggs, therefore, and a ton of melons. Therefore, I could actually probably do something with those. And I missed one. Hey, Bill. That's why I missed one, because I need to do that one from underneath. Okay, let's fly down. I'm getting better with this whole flying down business. Not good at it, but I'm getting better with it than I used to be. And that. There we go. I still do crash into things, though. Hit the ground too hard and that sort of stuff. Alright. Let's get back on the roof, however I did it. With a rose farm. No! Though, I mean, hey, if people doing a Wither Rose farm want chickens, they're more than welcome to the eggs. They're more than welcome. How did I get on the roof? That's interesting. I think I jumped. Which, yeah, my jumping skills are not the greatest. Yesterday I proved I have no hops, so yeah. This one? Nope, that's backwards. I never would have thought of buttons as directional, but they turned out to be. That's funny. Sorry, if I plant them going forward, then it actually works out well because you can't double stack them. It presses. So that's a convenient way of me not double placing buttons and being able to go a little faster. Okay, let's go back down this way. With a rose farm. That would imply me actually having to fight a wither, which is not happening. Not even in protected quarters. I'm not Sloy, but sometimes a chicken should be my mascot. Oh, I said flatter top, didn't I? And I didn't fix it. Okay, let's just do it again. We can handle that. Yeah, wrong one. Squirrel. Okay. Doable. Oh. Uh-huh. Wow. This is why it takes me whole streams to place blocks. There we go. Ow. Fine. Wrong house, but hey, it'll do. Well, that was useful. What do you mean you can't jump on a house, Fern? Okay, so this one has to go. All right, where are we here? This one? Yeah. I think the run back is worth it for the speed going forwards. But, I mean, the obvious answer to too many eggs is really to kill off some of the chickens, right? That's the really obvious answer. So I could do that, but I got a chuckle out of someone for the Chick-fil-A free food stand, and they weren't there last season, so might be something I can do easily. Do the cooking off-site and then supply the stand. Actually, how many buttons do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ought to do it. Unless I pick up 7 from the inside here, which I doubt. Nope. No buttons. What did I do? Oh good, I can reach. Excellent. It is safe, harmless pranks, right? Yes. Not usually my style, I'm afraid, but part of it is just I don't have a shop plan for this season yet, so it makes it super duper easy if I just go with something. Why not? If I just go with something basic. So one of the things I'll probably put together a chicken cooker, and then look at whether or not I want to put, instant chicken farm in a box, or if I want to do, here's a chicken cooker kit for your base, which I know is a very limited, a limited sell item, but it will do the trick, right? Okay. Here we go. Button, who's got the button? Ooh, let's come back. And speaking of chickens, ooh, we get a chicken. No winner. Okay, so we have 2 people involved in the chicken vote. So we need to get these buttons down so we can go and throw eggs. As I said, this is only 1. I have the double chests, so there's probably plenty more. 5. Okay. So we're throwing 5 eggs, and the prediction is, will we get a chicken? It's a 1 in 8 chance. And if we get a chicken, then of course it's a win, but we also have to kill off said chicken because they drop eggs all over the place, and then the zombies pick them up and they don't go away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nope. No egg today. Resolve that with no way. Okay, and prediction result. 3,300 points go to Tiz for Truth and B Silver Bee. Congratulations, guys. You were right, there was no egg today. Or no chicken today. No chicken tonight. I was just thinking a bad version of the no sugar tonight thing, and I realized how weird that would sound with it being in chicken instead of sugar. That doesn't work, because it's fine to say, no sugar tonight with my dinner. That works. But then no chicken tonight with my dinner. That works. No chicken tonight with my tea does not work. It makes no sense whatsoever. Now, the disadvantage of going with a one floor farm for the sheep, even though it's smaller width-wise, we have no storage for the wool. That's what stopped me from taking down that floor. This one I have to finish putting in the fences and the deco. Where did I put the lanterns? I had lanterns. There they are. Just in case. Alright, so cows are not likely to jump out. Everything else is likely to come in. As fun as that is. Oh, not a huge fan of that look. Okay, what did I do on the previous barn? For the time being, let's start with that. There. Okay, so I did like this part with lanterns, and then that I like. But not on the one with the gates. No, I can do it on the one with the gates. There we go. And same on the back side. have to do something down here, though, to keep the cows from leaving. And glass windows with a medieval farm building just doesn't work for my brain today. So what I might do... Ooh. Not so much. Oh, I see what you mean. Make it just that little bit smaller so that the cattle can't leave. Excellent. I like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll see whether or not I like that one. Now, if I make it just that little bit smaller, it might help keep out spiders. Me no like easy spiders. You know. Usual. Okay. And weirdly, actually, if I can get in here, possibly from the outside, I could maybe store the wool in this one. Keep the sheep over there. I'm not moving the whole farm again. Yeah. I need to think about how I'm going to do that. Okay, well, anyways. So trapdoors, there's oak with the holes, which would work. That might be my best bet to start with. Let's see what I've got in storage. Oh, that's no good. 56 trapdoors. Well, that might be enough, or at least close. I mean, my brain wants to say it's too many, but of late, I have not been making a whole lot of too many. It's actually not that bad. I mean, it's got a bit of a weird look as you kind of look through them, but I think that would do the trick. And then if I go like that, I mean, I could even just leave them up like windows to the barn. Let's see. The outside? Okay, let's do 2 on the outside and 2 on the inside. And see which one we like better. See if that actually looks any good at all anyways. 1, 2. I like it on the inside. I think the double offset seems to match out well with the barn where it's a double offset. Or the, sorry, sheep one. Not really sure what I like here. Okay. I jumped and I got... There we go. So if I go this way... Keep experimenting. This one and that one. That looks dreadful. And what does this look like? Okay. Now I'm going to try something different on the other end. I take out the fences and do the same thing. think I like the other way with the fence, with the sort of skirting up at the top, not at the bottom. And I have a very confused cat. Hello. Guess it keeps the barn cats out. I like them down at the top, but maybe just laying down on the sides. Yeah. And this one has to go back to fence. All right, let's take out these two. I'm actually going to try and see what it looks like if I put fence all the way up, actually, on the ends. Okay, now. That's kind of weird. On the other hand, that I think that will let a spider through, but it might not. I mean, I could do it with walls as well, like I've got on the sides. Just because I've got them. Funky. Very, very funky. Not sure what I think of that. It's unique, right? Unrealistic, but unique. Truthfully, if it was to be realistic, it'd be more like this design. Okay, that's the other thing that's bothering me too, is the different aesthetic for the two buildings side by side. Because this one on this left side is actually more historically accurate, and that's what I was originally going for. Which I do have to add. The trapdoors on these, for the same reasons. Interesting way of letting me know there's 5 minutes left. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, those need to be added. Okay. So, you may, by the time you see this building next week, actually, not you may, you will, by the time you see the building next week, see an aesthetic change to be more like this one. With, let's see, does the fence look okay here? Ooh. Just one more. Like, one more thing. One more thing. One more thinking myself to death. Yeah, okay. Then I won't surprise myself and I'll feel better about it. All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. All right, so we've got some bits and bobs going, but I think this one on the right hand is going to be all torn up and changed over to this aesthetic just for realism's sake. But we can use something like this for maybe some houses or something. Which is too bad because I liked it. Oh well, it is what it is. All right. So we've had, oops, Fantastic Sherlock Fox has mentioned Lego, so we're going to finish off with that one. It usually takes me more than 5 minutes. We've got only about 5 minutes left. I can run longer on Thursdays, but I'm not going to this week because I've been fighting a bug. I really don't want to mess with the opportunity for my son and I to go to the courthouse for his scouts tonight. So I'm going to just swap that one out. Ooh, there we go. Go AFK on this one, and then we're going to go over to the Lego screen and just finish up that way. So let me get that going and I'll be right with you. All right, and we're back. I just need to make sure that I can interact with just need to interact with the instructions so I can actually pick up where we left off. Let's see, what page are we on? I'm gonna try, let's see, we got 23. Are we close? Close. Presentation mode, okay. Doesn't stay, unless I leave my OBS open, it doesn't stay where we left off, which is too bad. Okay, where are we here? Nope, not quite. Not quite, we're almost there. All right. 1, 2. Oh, right, bag 2. Right, we had to null and everything else. Okay, and we made our characters. We're into furniture. So we are into the furniture. And for that, we're going to need, let's see, two of those. We're making 2 chairs, apparently. We're going to need 2 of the flat ones. 1 and 2. Aha, there's the other one. And 2 edges. If I remember to do this correctly. There we go, it's on screen. And feel free to hit a new geek out whenever you like, if that works for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have 2 of the little red pieces. So we're making chairs today. Oops. There we go, and then on the bottom, assuming they don't tell you which one you're putting on for number 2, but it's the only one that fits, is the thing with the bumps. All right. Oh, we need 6 of those. Okay. So we had 2. There's 3. Oops. Come on. 1, 2, and 3. Ooh, Sorry, my stomach's making really weird growly noises. I apologize for that. I need 6 of these panels as well, and I only brought out 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're making 2 little chairs that look like this. Those are kind of cool. I like those armchairs. Just set that one over by the minifigs. And let's rinse and repeat. Assuming I need that one. Okay. So we've got 1, and the flat back. The bumpy seat. I also like they have little little feet on the bottom. It works out well. Okay. And then we've got 2 armchairs, or arms on the side. And the 2 flat sections. Yeah, I quite like that armchair design. Those are cool. Okay. Then below that, they want this big square, which needs 4 little feet. 1, 2, oops. Can't grab it. There we go. 3 and 4. That's going to be a chest design with a sticker on the other side. Love it. I love doing the stickers. When I can get them square-ish, and I like doing the stickers. Okay. Sticker sheet. Hope I can get this right the first time. My big chunky fingers out of the road. Too far over. With that. There, much better. Okay, next spot. It wants the 2 back panels. Plus more pieces. Oh, it's 2 upper back panels. Yeah, it says the bottom, the Gryffindor house banner. So this is what we're working on, is the Gryffindor house banner. So the whole thing will close up at the end. So kind of like this. And then we have more to go on top, and it'll have a big Gryffindor logo on it. And it's actually asking us right now to put on these 2 back panels. So it's one at a time. So snap this one on. And what do we do with it? Stuff on the inside. Ooh, with stickers. Yay! Score. I like stickers. We already heard that one, but I like stickers. All right. We've got the square that they're asking for, which we're going to put the sticker on. And a support piece. So let's put the support piece on so that I don't bang things around. Aw, 8 seconds left, but we're going to do the sticker anyway. Just in time, unfortunately, to finish this one up and then head on out. Now the timer has disappeared from the screen because it's blinking at me saying time's up, but I'm going to finish this little piece anyhow. All right. And that goes on the wall. There we go. So it helps support the piece, and it's going to become part of the banner, so you can start to see where it's going with this. And you can also see my webcam and my finger. Nice little reflections. All right, so that's where we're going to leave it for now. Let's just see who it is that we can raid. I'm going to switch over and take a quick boo on the web. I usually use the web page for figuring out who to go to, but I'm following just because it's a lot easier than the little buttons I can see. There we go. Okay, who we got? Okay, so I think Yeah, thanks very much. We're going to go visit JD White today. He's still working on his hardcore Minecraft day 145, and similar to what I've been doing recently, he's working on crop farms and stuff. So I think that's going to work out well. Let's just say here, crop farm and stuff. Question of the day, death. I think it's a death counter, and lurks appreciated. So yeah, we're going to go over there. And he's in Belgium, so it's probably pretty late at night for him. Actually, he's been up for an hour and a bit. Is there anybody else that's shorter that tends to go long? You know what? I'm going to change the speed instead. Instead of JD, love him to pieces, but I think this time round we're going to go and give me just one quick second, so I will be right back, and we will just pick someone to raid after that. Okie dokie. All right, I think we're going to head out to Bruno, a little bit more high energy. Just checked on JD's, and he has a risk of actually raiding out, which is perfectly fine, but doesn't give us what we want. So we're going to head over to Bruno. Please do feel free to give him your congratulations. It looks like, according to Twitter, he had just made partner on YouTube, so he is probably pretty charged up today. He says he's working on the over 1,686 days of half-hearted hardcore, and he's working on a wither skeleton farm. So based on the joke we had earlier, I think that would be a great place to head out. So we're going to get over there and do give him our best, and we'll say our thank yous when we hit the end screen.
Mischief managed.
All right, so thank you very much to Fantastic Sherlock Fox and Neon Traveler for hanging out. Also to Zerk and Fantastic Sherlock Fox for being our mods today. We had great people showing up like Tis for Truth, Creef, Neon, and B Silver B. So thank you, everybody. And if you weren't mentioned, you were probably lurking, and I want to say thank you very much to all those that dropped by. We got some progress done, even though we're going to tear it out and change it up, but that's okay. Always good to learn and practice and get some things done. And we have some projects on the go for next week, because if we need to figure out what to do with all this chicken and all these eggs. So for those of you that need them, we have the 2 different sets of hype messages. The ones with the helmet and the funky looking sheep thing. Those are for subscribers, and if not, you can go ahead and use the global raid pickaxe below. Feel free to use any emotes you like, either to go with that or instead of those. And we will head out to Bruno. So have yourselves a fantastic weekend. Enjoy, rest up, get all charged up for the next week, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Transfer complete.